What it up? What it up? What it up?
What up?
It's the Bros with No Hoes podcast.
No disrespect.
No disrespect. It's VinceBracy.com.
Chase P.
Chase P, a.k.a.
A.K.A. Chase Alamode, A.K.A. Young Pinot Grigio.
Yeah. So I decided that I'm going to, because I don't drink that much, I am going to call myself Moscato Papi. That's my name. Because you do the Pinot. They're both wine related, right? Pinot Grigio.
And a wine.
Hashtag Moscato Papi or Scotto Papi is what I'm going with.
Moscato Papi.
So yes, so we're here. Thank you for listening to episode 6. Please make sure you guys continue to share us, take the screenshots, let us know when you get the notification on your phone so we can repost you guys on the page or our personal pages. But yeah, man, we got some guests in the studio today, bro.
Word. Introduce yourselves.
Please.
Don't be shy.
Are you supposed to introduce me?
All right, hold up. So let me give,
You're right.
we give this woman the proper
host.
introduction.
Yes,
Thank you.
She is a classically, can I say classically trained?
I mean, that's a little bit of a stretch, but I'll take that.
Classically trained chef.
There you go.
At she is now a sous chef.
No.
She's not a sous chef. I learned what a sous chef was.
So, you know,
it's the person that chops it up, right?
No, in the kitchen hierarchy, it is the executive chef. Sometimes there'll be a chef de cuisine, and then you have sous chefs, sometimes for each maybe department, I will say, of the kitchen. And then you have cooks, and that's what I am.
All right, she's a cook.
She's a cook.
She's a cook. I still call her chef. Chef Taj Ali is in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Chef Taj Ali is what she's going by. You wanna talk about Chef Taj Ali real quick?
I mean, I'd rather let her give us a synopsis of what she does, where she's been, stuff like
break it
that.
down. Break it down.
For us.
Okay, I still feel very weird by calling myself a chef.
She's a chef. Or
I
you
don't
about
know.
to be a chef at least.
Well,
I still
I
call
mean-
you a chef just because you have your catering service.
Well, yeah. Technically, it is my belief that if you cook for a living or for money,
Professionally,
that
then
you are a chef. But, you know, sometimes the veterans get a little offended by everybody calling themselves chefs.
She ain't got her stripes yet.
Who maybe haven't put in the same amount of time as they have. So I feel weird about calling myself a chef. But, yes, I am a chef. I actually used to be an executive assistant full-time. And about 5 months ago, I left my job at the Metropolitan Museum of Art to cook full-time for a really, really, really great catering company in Long Island City called Cloud Catering.
Clout?
And Cloud. Wouldn't it be
Clout.
Cloud?
Okay.
Cloud Catering would
Cloud
be nice,
chases.
though.
You know what I'm saying?
No, Cloud, as in a cloud in the sky.
'Cause you eat their food and it makes you float.
Yeah. So I've been there for about 6 months now, cooking full-time. Prior to that, I was cooking on more of a part-time basis. I was doing a lot of gigs through my company, Savor the Crown, Crown Catering.
The Crown Catering.
And I was doing that, and then I was able to go to culinary school on scholarship, thank God, last year, and I'm finishing up this year. I also teach a healthy cooking class for a really, really dope organization called Keys to Abundant Life.
Dope.
It is run by a really, really dope Black woman, and I believe either her or her brother went to Howard. So
That's dope.
and I teach there Mondays and Saturdays. This is my first time actually teaching children from 9. I work with kids 9 to about 15.
It's for kids.
Yeah, so that's kind of a challenge, but it definitely forces me to hone my skills just so I can teach from a place of knowledge. And so yeah, so now I'm out of the office life, I'm out of corporate life, and I'm cooking full time. Yeah.
There we go.
That's
there we go.
dope.
So Chef Taj Ali is doing her thing right now. So we were supposed to have another guest here, my mentee Kadi, host of the Voice of Reason podcast, but she couldn't make it. So I wanted to throw some shade, but she said her daughter was sick. So you know,
You can't throw shade on when they give you your daughter.
I hosted her daughter's first birthday party. So hope everything is good with Arlie and Kadi, and hope we can get you up here sometime. But yeah, so we got some nepotism. So I didn't I was waiting for somebody to say it. I didn't want to be the one to say it, but yes. So Chef Taj Ali is your sister, Chase.
That's my twin sister.
sister.
Twin sister at that.
Yes,
Twin
you gotta
sister.
put that
We
in
Your
there.
twin
officially
sister, and also
we-
my cousin.
Yes.
we have shared a womb together.
Right.
Yes.
She came out first, I heard.
Yes.
She did come out first. I came out second.
Yes.
Right.
Um,
So we got Taj Ali here, and also because we couldn't have Kylie here, not just because she told me she didn't want
Not
to
that
be.
second hand.
She didn't want me to make it sound like she was the replacement. She was coming anyway. But my beautiful girlfriend Jasmine is here. Jasmine, say what's up.
Hey guys, what's up?
Oh, you sound so good on the mic, baby. All right. So yeah, Jazz, do you have an introduction or anything? You got anything cool you want to say about yourself?
I'm just the coolest girlfriend ever.
She's just
I like
she's
that.
just super dope. I don't have nothing crazy to say about her, but she's very dope. Happy to have her, and she's also got some radio host experience too. So that's why she sounds so good on the mic.
You have
That's
a
my
voice
baby.
for radio.
That's my baby right there.
That's me.
Word. So so we got the idea from Chef Taj, and we munching in the studio right now. Like I'm literally trying to finish up this.
yeah, tell us what you made.
I made a very classic. I mean, this is what I usually get when I go to brunch is a good chicken and waffle. I like a good chicken and waffle, and we got some mimosas. I made a strawberry puree for the mimosas.
We lit in here right now. y'all.
Chicken and waffle. I gave Chase a quick lesson on some dredging techniques and how to make the waffles. He had a really cool waffle maker that you can make like 2 at a time. I thought that was nice.
Hey, shout out to waffle makers.
So yeah, we've got that here. I wanted to do something that was gonna be hearty, but I didn't want to go pork because niggas not dining with the swine in 2019.
You know what I'm saying?
Word.
I didn't want to. Not me
No
personally.
pork on my fault.
Not me personally. I will still bust down a rib. But yeah, so I wanted to do something that was gonna fill us up and that everybody was gonna be able to eat.
That's me licking my fingers right here. All right, I'm done with the chicken, guys. Are you happy? All right, so Taj brought us a nice meal in here today. So we, like I said, we lit. We got some the Bros with No Hose brunch coming up soon. We got our own caterer. You know what I'm saying? We got some chicken. We got some waffles, some mimosas, some strawberry puree mimosas. But so we have Jazz here. We have Taj here, and it's episode 6. And we love you guys for staying tuned in. But I don't think too much has happened this week, but some big things that we have covered already came.
I think some
and
stuff that we had covered already that have obviously resurfaced. We hate to bring it back, but R. Kelly.
We gotta talk about. Do we have to? We have to.
We have to.
Just kind of. But do we celebrate the fact that
Definitely.
he's
100%.
definitely he's been indicted? We have to celebrate it.
Yes, you have to. If you are against pedophilia, if
Yes.
you are against rich and powerful people taking advantage of
Right.
those who aren't rich and powerful, you definitely should celebrate R. Kelly's downfall.
All
I
right.
mean, I'm not surprised. At this point of at this stage, I'm not surprised that he's been caught, that he's been convicted, or I don't know. He's charged.
Right.
There's a difference between being charged and being convicted.
And I really thought he was gonna. Remember, we had said on the podcast, once that video comes out again in 2019,
somebody's gonna
have something to say about it. So,
but you can't try him for the same. See, the first trial he got convicted. He was proven not guilty
for child pornography.
I thought he was
For the-
acquitted. Is that the same as being proven? You're not proven not guilty. That's very unlikely.
He was acquitted.
Acquitted is the technical.
It's the technical term.
But you
think
can't
acquitted
try
is-
somebody for the same.
No.
That's
But
cool.
it was for child
But
pornography before. This time it was for aggravated assault, which I'm not sure.
because
what was
double
going on in that
jeopardy.
video?
You can't try somebody.
I mean,
for
he's
the same-
definitely
What
done.
Should that got to do
You
with
can't
this?
try somebody for the same crime.
Even
twice.
if it isn't what back then, he's definitely done enough recently to be charged with something more recent.
Yeah.
The issue is just going to be what the evidence is, and is it going to stick, and are people going to care?
I think people definitely cared. I mean, everybody cared, but so the man turned himself in.
I mean,
It was only right?
Yeah.
It was only right.
you
was
don't
only
want
right that
to
he
get
turned himself in.
arrested. Turn yourself in and make it easy, at least for the optics of yourself.
Word. So they said that dude had 4 counts of aggravated assault. I'm not sure where they're pulling those counts for, but I don't know if it has something to do with the tape or maybe
I think the
2
tape,
more people came
I think
forward.
the
The
supposedly.
tape
I think-
along with some of the women
some people
that
had came forward, and they looked at the documentary and they're going to use that as
Of
evidence. They probably
course.
reached out to people.
They was
and
like, yo,
said,
my son was talking about this. What are you
exactly.
talking-
they reached out to the people in the
My wife
documentary
wouldn't
and
shut
said,
up
"Can you
about this."
comment on this or whatever?" So I mean,
That's
they
not
got,
how law works, though. I mean,
but you could though.
You can't just say I'm gonna have people on a documentary and give you a comment on the law. You know, they have to have sufficient evidence. Which, if you've already got an indictment with 4 counts of aggravated sexual assault, you
Right.
have some kind of evidence to bring those charges.
That's what they was
True.
waiting for. They was waiting for something else to come out and for them to be able to say, "Hey, we got you now."
Yeah.
And I think,
But the thing is, there was always enough evidence on R. Kelly to indict him. Just nobody cared.
But didn't they had a warrant to search his studio,
oh, they
right?
didn't had that.
Yeah.
And if he had an issue with recording things, there's plenty of evidence there.
Very, very much evidence. There's so much evidence. So they're saying this guy, again, 4 counts of aggravated assault, 3 to 7 years per count. I'm not good at math. What is that?
How many?
20 something?
How many counts?
4 counts of aggravated assault.
So if he got 7,
12
that's
to
28.
28 years.
There you go.
Yeah.
Is that enough for Robert?
Nope.
That's not enough.
Y'all
You
want him in for
under the
life?
jail?
For life?
For life,
You want
yeah.
him under the jail?
Absolutely. Give him 70 years and then he'll die there. So that's life in my world.
Right.
I just want him under the jail, only to send an example that that you can't do this to people and get away with it.
Agreed.
True.
Right. So I don't know how much his bail is. I don't know if his bail is.
It was
like
$1 million.
It was $1 million. Okay, cool.
gonna
So
pay that.
like these are his lawyer's actual words. Contrary to the song, Mr. Kelly doesn't like to fly. Why? Like, why is that something that you had to let us know?
Yeah,
I,
that was.
Stop.
I know what he said. I know his most famous song is about flying. Oh yeah, get the wait, you can't play this. Wait, I was about to say. All right, so I have to get this out because it's bothering me. I can fly, like just that. I had to get it out.
The
It was
chorus,
like, it was sitting on the. That wasn't him though. That was
No,
his
that's the
background.
choir.
That's the
That's
choir.
what you need. I would like to say that was my elementary school
Mine
anthem,
too.
and we had Oakview Eagles Can Fly.
Oh my goodness.
So
We
I'm
sang
done
that
with
with
that
the-
song.
yeah.
I've been done.
I mean, if you're a millennial, especially if you're a black millennial, you've likely sang "I Believe I Could Fly" at your first, second, or third grade. At some point in your life, you've sang this for.
Also, Space
A
Jam is
school event.
all of our shits though. Like you can't.
Yeah, but
Exactly.
Who
Space Jam
doesn't like
is
Space Jam?
Space Jam is not about R. Kelly.
But that's
though.
not the best song
It's
for Space
not.
Jam, though.
It's not. But remember when Michael Jordan landed in it was Shea Stadium back then. You know what I'm saying? He was it Shea Stadium? I don't know. I'm thinking about Men in Black. My bad.
I'm like,
He
oh.
landed in the baseball. It was probably in North Carolina. He landed in the baseball field. You know what I'm saying? The ramp came out. He walked down with his hands waving and stuff, and the song was playing. He had the light in the back. Like I remember this. I don't know when the last time I saw
Yeah.
the movie or watched the entire movie.
You watched it. It was on BET
Oh,
a couple weeks ago.
was it?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course it was.
Of course it was.
Shout out BET.
I mean, I think you can, cherish those memories, but I mean, for me, it's just hard. I can't hear an R. Kelly song without.
But are you listen? But when you listen to the song, are you referencing it to someone who is underage? Is that the reason why you can't?
No, it doesn't matter. I can't. I mean, if Hitler had a soundtrack,
Oh,
I wouldn't
God.
be able to sing his songs because it's fucking Hitler. Like, I'm not. I don't want to. I mean, I guess I am comparing R. Kelly. I mean, if you do some OD fucked up shit in your life to people intentionally and you continue to get away with it, you're a bad person.
OD. So Taj is not listening to the
I'm not
the
listening
club
to R.
version
Kelly.
of Mein Kampf
No,
by Adolf.
I'm not listening to
Young
the
Adolf.
to the Jersey remix of that.
Yo, all right. So you said when you listen to R. Kelly. So what
I don't
R. Kelly,
listen to
I was
R.
about to say, what R. Kelly you listen to?
I don't listen to R. Kelly at
Don't get caught
all.
off.
When it comes on my Pandora or whatever I'm listening to, I change it, and it's really just that simple. And the fact that people have such an issue with doing something so simple
Yeah.
is like mind-boggling to me.
I actually had so I do a radio show on this app called Station Head, promotion for Station Head right now. I always have songs loaded up in my rotation to play, and one of my favorite songs to get like the morning started was I believe it's Home Alone by R. Kelly and Keith Murray, and that is my joint. And when I seen it coming up, I was like, oh, gotta delete that.
Yeah.
I was mad, but yeah,
Yeah,
man.
R. Kelly's. I mean, he's done. Let him. If he goes, I honestly, at this point, if whatever happens to him, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh no,
That's
or,
it.
Or I'm not gonna cheer it on. It's whatever happens.
Well, I mean,
to him
I'm
happens to
nervous
him.
that nothing is gonna happen to him because
Something's gotta happen.
we all saw him. I mean, not us personally, but there is video of him having sex with an underage girl, and he got off on that trial.
Word.
Yeah, but the girl
Yeah.
also denied that it was her, and her family did as well. So that was the biggest
And then
issue.
also
with that.
Allegedly.
Well, who wants to be the
Allegedly.
girl on the tape getting peed on by R. Kelly? Nobody.
Yeah. Again, her dad.
Nobody
still
wants
worked
to
for
be
him.
it, but somebody got to
Somebody
do it
gotta
for
do
him
it.
to go.
There you go.
Somebody got to take one.
Instagram wasn't a thing back then too, so you know
Take
how.
one for the team.
I mean, that would be taking one for the team because that would likely ruin your life for the rest of your life.
For the rest of your life. And do we know who this girl is at all?
She is
It's Sparkle's
niece. Yes.
Right. But we never saw her face or nothing like that.
They
I've
showed
never
like
seen
some
it.
pictures on the
Yeah.
documentary with the girl that she played basketball with.
Yeah.
Ooh, but she was blurred out the whole time, I thought.
It don't
I
matter.
mean,
we
people
can find that picture.
were hawking
We
those
could.
bootlegs in the 90s of that sex tape a lot.
Yo,
There's
that
a
was
lot of people
That was really a thing.
in,
Yeah.
in 2019 who still have that sex tape.
That's true.
That's pretty wild, man.
That's very true. Anyways, R. Kelly's done.
So he's done.
I hope he's done. Mute R. Kelly, mute all rapists,
Word.
mute all pedophiles, all misogynists, all people that support rape culture, mute them.
Where was he smiling in his mugshot?
I didn't
Probably.
see it.
He wasn't smiling.
He wasn't
from the
smiling. It
one
was a
I saw.
regular. He just
He
looked like
shouldn't
somebody
be,
uncle.
but he probably was.
You saw your boy Jesse's mugshot.
Was he smiling in his? I
He
didn't see his
wasn't
mugshot.
smiling, no, but I'm
At
just
this
looking at it.
point, I just want Jesse to come out and say, listen, I fucked up. I did something stupid. And I think that we would all give him a pass if he did that.
Right. So I don't know if you think we'll give him a pass.
I mean, I
think
don't know
we
if I
did.
would give him a pass because
I mean, Jesse Smollett, he had a solid standing in the black community. He was in no jeopardy of
Word.
Yeah, like,
losing
nobody
his
was-
card. He was, he had a season pass to the cookout.
Do we know how old Jesse is?
Probably
He, like-
mid-30s.
yeah, he's probably like in his 30s.
30s, you think?
Is
Yeah.
is his
Dang.
sister older than him?
Probably.
Yeah, I
I
think,
think
so.
so.
So, do
So
you,
he's early 30s and probably.
he's 36 years old.
36.
Wow. He
Oh.
doesn't. Wow.
How
he
old
does-
is his
Black
sister?
don't crack.
His
She
sister's
can't be
the
older
same
than
age?
him. She can't be older than him.
Journey.
But do you think that Jesse, in his head, he was like, yo, all right, so apparently he has a drug problem. That's his cop out. That's what he's going with.
Oh, so he was doing some crackhead shit.
But do you think that he might have thought that Journey's younger?
2 years older?
Now check it out. She's
32.
30. All right. So do you think that Jesse in his head was like, man, if I go to jail for this, like, I still got time. I still got plenty of time.
No.
I'm gonna come back out. They're gonna reaccept me. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be like, what's Iron Man? Robert
Downey Jr.
Yeah. He was, he was like a fake crackhead out in the streets.
no,
And
he was a real crackhead.
he's like,
He
no,
was a certifiable crackhead.
let's
out
get
in
it.
these
Let's get it
streets.
straight. He was a actual crackhead.
That's
But,
funny because I had no knowledge of that.
Oh, yeah.
he was in
People
jail for like a
don't-
minute.
People don't know
Yes.
Iron Man was really out here. He was like the Lindsay Lohan like back in the
Like
day.
And
the
he's
guy
still-
version of Lindsay Lohan.
Yeah, he was. He was like Charlie Sheen, kind of like
Like
just
out
Charlie
here
and
wildin'.
Wildin'.
Looked cracked out.
Just
though.
wilding. Then I think he went to jail, came back. And
But
then
Robert Downey Jr. has gotten a lot of chances because remember there was a lot of backlash when he did the
blackface
face
thing.
But I don't
Tropic
consider
Thunder.
that
I don't-
blackface.
He did.
Wait,
do
how
that.
did wait?
It was
I don't,
Tropic Thunder.
Tropic Thunder. I don't
which
consider
is one
Tropic
of the greatest
Thunder.
movies of all time.
I don't consider
You said
Tropic.
what?
I said which was one of the greatest movies of all
Oh,
time.
you enjoyed that? Okay.
I love Tropic
No, I
Thunder.
like
No, that's a-
I like Tropic
that's a great
Thunder
movie.
because it was. I think the reason why they did it was because they were trying to
Incite black
they were
outrage.
trying to not incite
No.
black outrage, but they were trying to show that
It was kind of a parody
It was
to
a
me.
parody that
Or
we could have
satire.
cast a black person to play the black person, but we cast the white
Yeah.
In
Australian guy. Like
the
that's
movie, it was a
What
parody.
Hollywood
was-
always does.
that's pretty much what Hollywood always does. So
Yeah.
I wasn't offended by that, and plus he did.
And
a-
he was
did a
fucking
good, He
amazing.
did a good job
And
with
he
it.
was funny as shit in that.
So
Should we be offended by that? I feel
No.
like it's way past.
I
the time
read
to be
somewhere on
offended.
Facebook, it's always these like stupid articles generated by probably Russian bots. But I read somewhere that
Taj taking it there.
I'm just saying. I read somewhere that people were saying that if you do if you're a white person and you do the charcoal mask, that's a form of blackface.
Stop it.
Charcoal
Charcoal
masks.
masks
For
are
cleansing?
amazing. I do one every week.
For cleansing? Oh, how come I don't get no charcoal mask? What's up?
You've gotten them.
I got like one.
form of blackface.
But I just hate that stuff like that happens and then white people get real confused around racism. So they need cut and dry.
They
Guidance.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like now they're questioning, can they wear charcoal mask? And it's gotten a little ridiculous. And it's
bad.
kind of, I think when things get ridiculous, it takes away of the legitimacy.
the actual message that we're trying to
of-
convey. Yeah.
I mean, and also in 2019, why are we still having blackface conversations? Like, y'all
Because
should know it's
People
bad.
still don't know.
Don't
there are
do
people,
it.
It's unfortunate, but there are people out there who still, the person who lives in, like, if you live in New York City, if you grew up in New York City, obviously you probably know blackface ain't shit, and you're not supposed to do that. But if you grew up in like North fucking Dakota, like if you grew up in Amish country and you on that whatever, you know, whatever they do, what the Amish do when
No
they can
disrespect
like,
to the Amish.
no disrespect to the Amish, but
Whatever the
listening to
Amish do,
whatever the Amish do,
just living their
Any
life.
Amish people listening to our
and you
podcast.
come into the city, and you come into the city and you do a blackface, then yeah, you probably like you wouldn't know.
That's wild.
So I mean, it's unfortunate that some people still don't know, but that's just the way shit goes. I mean, and I'm at a point where personally I don't feel like I have to keep explaining this is racist, this shouldn't be done. It's like either you're going to take this racist, like you're going to take this, we're just going to call you a racist, or you're going to understand other cultures. Like I can't sit down and take time to like say, hey, listen, you know, this is a bit offensive. It's like, no, you're going to get this racist patch. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
But I think a lot of times now everything is labeled as racist, which is not racism. And it, like I said, it helps to delegitimize, at least to me, what actual racism is. Like anything that people, especially white people in particular, don't like, oh, that's racist. Oh, that's racist.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, you're being racist to me. Like,
What
no.
they say,
No.
counter racism.
No,
reverse racism.
That's actually
Reverse racism.
not how this works. And but then it's like when you say black people can't be racist, it's like, you know, like those purple. What's that commercial?
I
Oh,
would
the
say-
jet commercial.
The jet commercials
Those
when their
are
heads
funny.
pop up.
Those are funny.
It's like that.
I would say black people are super racist, and I think we admit to it. for the most part.
Absolutely.
I think that white people historically have done enough for everybody to hate them.
Pretty much.
Well, she
That's-
summarized that.
That's wild.
And if you don't,
any
I
of
mean,
our white listeners, feel free to chime in on it.
I mean, I feel like it's hard because you don't want to, attack a white person. I mean, I have friends who are white, and I do.
You just said the
Listen.
typical white person statement.
but
I'm not
listen.
racist. I have black
That's
friends.
not, no. That's not what I said. I said I have white friends who may feel some type of way when I say white people are trash, but
Taj is super woke on social media. Now. She used to be down with the white folk a little bit.
no.
more.
I ain't never been down with the white folk. I was
She a
just
Black Panther.
confused. I was just confused. But I try not to get too deep in like I don't want to say the probe. I don't want to be like a Hotep. But I want
What's wrong
to
with being a Hotep?
everything.
I never understood, but we'll
Everything
get to
is
that
wrong
another
with
time.
being a Hotep. Don't be a Hotep. Don't date Hoteps, and especially don't fuck Hoteps.
Can
in
you
2019.
explain what
Bros
What's
with
a
no-
Hotep? Because
Bros
I'm
with no
lost.
Hoteps.
I feel like there are different different versions of Hotepery.
Can we define Hotep, please?
give
Because
us
I'm lost.
Because I've seen you post about that before, and I have a brief idea. But if
So
you go
have
into
you
it-
ever seen a dude if he's wearing an ankh?
Does it have to be a guy? Or
No,
can
you
it
could be
a
a Hoteptress.
Hotep.
I have an ankh tattooed on my arm. Is that
Yo, that's the
You
name of the
know, you
podcast.
do?
not a
Hoteptress.
big one? It's a small one.
Yo, people, you gotta watch it. The ankhs is kind of like a dead giveaway for Hotepery.
What?
And a lot of Hoteps, I believe personally,
I'm really big on Egypt, so
a lot of people are big on Egypt because it's our crowning
back
glory.
when we was kings
but
and queens.
Africa is bigger than Egypt.
Hello.
You know,
Talk
so-
about it.
But yeah, just stay away from Hoteps. They're bad news.
Can we define Hotep once again?
One time.
I'm
Oh.
lost.
I'm lost.
It's hard to define Hotep because it's hard to pin down what it is they actually believe because you have to dig through
A
so
brother
much
that
bullshit.
seems woke. Or
It
something
seems
like
woke, but I think it's they have a version of blackness that they feel is the version
Okay.
that is the version all black people should be. And if you don't fit into that mold, then you are somehow your blackness is questioned or
that. Dr. Umar, would you consider him a Hotep?
he is the king of the raggedies, aka king of the Hotep.
Dang.
Ooh.
Like,
And I'm black, y'all. And I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all. And I'm black, y'all. And I'm black, y'all.
This is
And I'm
our-
blacker than black, and I'm black,
y'all, this is our super black podcast.
And it's
today.
hard because it's like a lot of these things some of these Hoteps say are things that you can get down with as a black person, like keeping things in the black community, supporting
Yes.
black businesses,
Yeah, of
Yes.
course.
Absolutely.
supporting black families.
Yes.
But then it's like they always take it to another level.
The
Oh,
extreme.
you're not black if you don't marry black, or you're not you're not black if you're not a true black queen if you've gotten your body done or if you got more than one baby daddy.
Okay.
I mean, I don't like Hoteps at all because they're all misystonists.
All right, so this is the Bros with No Hoteps podcast.
Bros with no hotel. Yo, that is the
just wanted to all right, so we started about so we were talking about black outrage though, right? So would you say that because we started off on Jussie, so do you think that he used this, like, do you think he used the outrage purposely to get?
See, the thing is, I don't know what his MO was.
Right.
Like, I can't even really logically figure out what he was trying to do. I mean, he was in a good standing with black community.
right.
Yeah.
He had a recurring role on Empire. I mean, he wasn't getting a lot of money, but his bills was paid.
Right.
He has a famous sister who's doing well in the community.
Exactly.
So it's like, what? And then, it's hard because he made it the whole gay angle. And,
Yo.
a lot of black
Then he
folk
did the
have a
MAGA
hard
thing.
time.
Yeah.
He doing the gay angle, the MAGA thing. First of all, you don't need to make MAGA folk look bad. They already look bad.
Already
Yeah.
do.
So don't stage nothing for MAGA folk. Let's let them do what they
got
do,
it.
and we'll have enough ammunition to show the world that they suck.
So real quick to give people a brief for everybody that doesn't know. So Jussie finally came out. He turned him. I don't know if he turned himself
himself
in.
in.
Yeah,
He turned
he
himself
did.
in also. Apparently him and R. Kelly took their mugshot at the exact same place.
Wow.
I guess he lives in Chicago. They film in Chicago also. So I thought that was pretty interesting. But so just to unleash some of the facts, right? So we knew for a fact that it was two Nigerian brothers. These
Yes.
guys worked on the show. They were friends with him. Allegedly, one of the brothers might have been his drug dealer or lover or something like that. His cop out again is that he's struggling with drug issues, and I guess they had come together and planned this whole thing out. And I guess it just went bad. It didn't work out the way that he wanted to. Apparently, he wanted to try to attempt to make some type of craziness or some type of news stir to get more attention on him, to get more money out of the Empire contract that he had. But now he's gone.
How
But I
does
thought
that
he died
connect?
on Empire. I don't watch
Nah.
Empire.
They said he's not going to be in the last 2 episodes. So the season was like already filmed
Yeah, it was about
and
to be.
stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
So,
So
what,
he's
were they
still
signing
alive on the show?
contracts?
so he's still gonna get. You think he's still gonna get money off of Empire because they have to
Listen,
pay
have
them,
to
him.
give him money.
them
This is his
contracts ain't
contract.
got nothing to do
Yeah.
with this. I mean, I don't like what he did, but get a man his money.
Yo.
But this is the deal, though. Anytime there's like 3 things that seem too like hot of issues, then it's always a lie.
Oh no, everything.
So the MAGA
Oh, you talking about
thing,
the MAGA thing, the gay
the
thing, the
gay
black thing?
He was hitting
the
too
black
many, too many
thing.
hot topics.
And he
You
ain't
can't-
doing the noose.
It's like, wait,
yeah,
my-
you doing
Yeah.
a little bit too much, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like if you threw every hot topic in it, then I know it's a lie.
But
But did you
automatically.
read
It was a
the?
Burberry noose. Was that?
Burberry noose.
Did you read the
Yeah,
court?
with designer.
Did you read
nooses,
the
bro?
court transcript of basically the case against him?
What you got?
So they sent the police said that he received a letter, basically a hate mail to the studio.
Which he wrote also.
But they said
supposedly.
if you read the document, it says that it was cut, like from a movie, cut out letters from
Yeah.
a magazine.
Yeah,
That's
magazine.
ridiculous.
What in the hell?
It was like a
Has that
ransom
ever
note.
happened
Yes.
in real life?
It has.
Maybe in like
That's where they got the idea
1920s.
Yeah, but my guy, like, it's crazy that he put all this together.
And then they had another thing that they had to corroborate, I guess, their evidence against him was phone records, and they were saying that he was pinging off of cell towers that was near the
'Cause
incident.
my mans did
And
not
that-
want to turn his shit in.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
I mean,
But listen, I watched enough First 48. I could solve
Yo,
a
for
crime.
real,
Yes.
for real.
Like
Facts.
like
Everybody
no
should know
joke,
that.
I could solve a crime.
You should know that.
But you have to. You're already stupid in my mind if you think you're gonna do a crime so poorly planned out and be successful with it.
Word. And shout out to the paper trail too, because apparently he paid these dudes in check.
Yes, a personal check.
He paid the 2 Nigerian
Come on,
brothers
man.
$3,500
In a personal
with
check.
a personal check, signed
you
his
should have
name
just
on
gave
it.
him cash.
Folks,
Probably-
if you're gonna do illegal activity,
Probably
cash all the
wrote
way.
the get
Yeah.
down or the beat up or something like that on the.
And
Well, he probably couldn't make it to a
post-dated
bank.
the check. He post-dated the check that he sent them.
Oh
He's a
my
goofy
God.
for
He
that.
couldn't. He probably
Goofy.
couldn't get a bank.
I'm
I give
sorry
him
if
that.
he
probably
did all
couldn't
that.
get to a bank.
I can accept that he did all that, but the fact that he did that interview afterwards is what
Oh,
makes
yeah.
it so
Listen.
much worse for me.
Disrespectful.
Yeah.
yo.
You cried, you did all
He's
this.
an actor,
It was like,
though.
I fought the fuck back.
excuse me. I'm sorry, guys, but it was like a niggas ain't shit type of situation. Because
Oh, dude.
a guy will be like, oh, I didn't cheat, and be crying in
Girl,
your face and
lying,
everything.
lying.
Lying. That's what it. Not Vince,
Nah,
but
I was
other
about-
guy.
I was about to say,
not
nah.
Vince or Chase, ladies.
I was about to say, not me though. Not me though.
Right, but I'm
know you
just
hear all that
saying,
anger coming from
that's
my
what
girl.
happens. That's exactly what happens. Lying and
Yeah.
acting a fool.
It was hard. I mean, I think he did a disservice to the gay community, obviously, a
For
disservice
real.
to the
Absolutely.
black community, and unfortunately, most importantly, a major disservice to himself. Whatever the outcome is, it's always going to be bad for him. I don't watch Empire, so I can't speak to his acting ability, but I ain't seen him in nothing other than Empire.
Right.
did
So
a
when
little- he
his
did
Lifetime show
Underground.
come out, his Lifetime show is
He
gonna
did
come
Underground
out.
for a little bit.
Well,
He got
Underground.
the show that his
The
sister's
show,
on.
It was on
That's not his show.
It was on
WGN.
WGN.
Oh no, that was my show. He was on there.
Yeah.
I don't even
you know,
remember.
mad people was
I
on
don't
that
even
show.
remember
Like, it was
him.
like-
That's
it
how
was like
good
a
he
revo-
was.
Well, this is the thing. I think that the biggest issue is he comes from a very large family. So I think he did a disservice to his other
Yeah.
siblings that are younger
OD.
coming up.
Especially in the,
OD.
in the,
They can't come up like the Wayans now.
Right.
No.
The
No.
Wayways in them.
They was on the way to do it, though.
I'll tell you one thing, Chase. If you decide one day that you're gonna pull a hoax, I'm gonna really feel some type of, like, at least tell me.
At least y'all ain't
If
got
you
the
don't,
same name.
if
though.
you don't tell the public it's bullshit, at least tell me so I could at least fabricate my
Word.
story in line with your story.
You ever have to lie with somebody and not know that
and they don't tell
lying?
you any information?
I hate that, bro.
That's definitely happened to me where a friend's mom called me like, hey, is whatchamacallit on the way home? I was like, she said she stayed with you last night. I'm like, oh yeah,
Yeah,
she
yeah.
just left. And I'm texting her like, girl,
Bitch.
what's the lie?
Yo, mama just called me talking about some.
Yeah.
Girl, you better hurry up and get home.
Listen, if you need me to lie for you, just give me a quick synopsis first of what you want me to say, because I'll fuck up your whole situation if I don't get my lie right.
Yo, who was involved on this plan, man? Was it just
I
them?
think it was just Jesse and the
Was
two
it
dudes.
not
It was
his
poorly
manager and
thought
It was
out.
poorly thought out.
because he was on drugs. That's why.
First of all,
That man ain't on no drugs.
he already messed it up by getting two black. You just fucked it up by getting two black dudes. That's
Yo,
the first thing.
for real, for real.
Yeah, but I mean, what? I'm like, what white people person you gonna seek out and be like, listen, I need y'all to wear some MAGA hats and do some racist, homophobic shit.
You got to make
for
it
me.
as bad as
Yeah.
possible.
Come
So
on.
all this to say, and I got to give credit because Joe Budden has said this first on his podcast, but we've been thinking it for the past few weeks. This is all to cover something up. Like all this that we're receiving, like there's more. You know what I'm saying? There's definitely more. So I want to know, like, what was he possibly doing that made him come out with all this? Or was it like, you know what I'm saying? Or is Donald Trump paying him some money or something?
There's something they're not telling
There's
us.
And then
something.
Donald Trump
It's
is
something.
tweeting about it. Like, when have you ever seen a president?
Donald Trump don't care
tweet?
about no black.
I mean,
black
I
people.
know, but it's just so
Donald Trump ain't never seen an
bad.
episode of Empire.
It's so bad. It's just so bad how unprofessional he is. Like, I mean, at the very least, I mean, you a businessman.
I don't know what was going on. in Jesse's mind.
Trump paid Jesse to listen. I need this fake story.
Listen, Trump done paid a lot of people to
Yo,
do a lot of bullshit.
You know what I'm saying? He was trying to get more money on his Empire contract. You know what I'm saying? So he was like, yo, I got to do whatever it takes. So Trump got all the money. He trying to fund the wall. So he's like, yo, how can we take attention off of all this government bullshit that we got going on? Yo, Just, you trying to get these dollars? trying to get these dollars? You know, throw my Nigerian brothers a little something, something, and make it
I
happen.
think maybe, and forgive me, all Nigerian people.
Oh, don't talk about my
Ooh,
Nigerian.
child, what you about to say?
Maybe, Nigerian men have a history, not a
that's-
history,
that's Scam City,
but there's
Nigeria.
a rumors that they are,
Scam
professional
City.
scammers.
Shaking
Scam
my
No,
So-
it's the craziest thing about it is that after the attack, they did fly back to Nigeria.
Scam
What?
City.
They
Scam
did fly
City.
back to
I didn't know that.
They were background actors. So I guess the plan was, listen, you're gonna do this attack.
Right.
You're gonna fly to Nigeria,
And then dip.
chill, then you come back.
Wait till the heat is off.
Wait till the heat is off,
Wait
and
till
then come back.
Next season, Empire come
Because
back.
if you saw I don't know if you guys saw the police
Report.
not report, but they did a press conference, and the police officer was like, "We waited till the guys got back because they bought round trip tickets from the U.S. to Nigeria."
Jesse ain't paid him nearly enough, yo.
No,
3,500
No,
though.
absolutely not.
Nearly enough.
They
And they had to
should've
get everything
stayed over
themselves.
there.
You saw did you see the video of them in the store at the
Yeah.
cash
buying
register?
all that stuff.
Did you see the dude in the background stealing stuff?
What?
There was a dude behind them, and I'm like, look, this is like the news story of the century right here. And then there's some dude like stealing some gum or some shit in the background.
Oh my god.
I'm like, damn, he wouldn't even have got caught if they didn't have to. You know what I'm saying?
And the person who bought, who like the cashier didn't say like, yo, this is clearly a rape
First of all,
kit.
I see
This is clearly a
We
rape
doing-
kit.
we
I
doing
see
this
two
roping
black
this
men
bleach.
buying a MAGA hat. I'ma think something's up.
Did
And
they
rope
actually-
and all that. I'm
Did they
like,
even actually buy the MAGA hat? Though?
I don't know if it was a MAGA hat. I think it was just a red hat to resemble a
Oh
MAGA
my
hat.
god!
I'm not even gonna lie. Like you see a white person now, even when I get on the train, I see a white person with a red hat.
Yeah,
I'm like, wait a minute.
What's
Hold
that?
up.
Yeah.
Is that a
That's
You better be a
facts.
Hold
Cincinnati
up.
Reds fan over there.
Yeah.
I mean, even when I used to work at the museum, we used to get a lot of tourists, and there was white
see
folk
that?
with MAGA hats. I mean, they proud. They don't feel no shame to
They
wear
don't.
a MAGA hat. They are
That's
very
facts.
proud to wear a MAGA hat.
Because I see them all the time in Times Square. If I like leave the building where I work at to like go walk or something, and I saw this guy with a MAGA hat, and I smooth cut him off on purpose. Didn't care.
Wow.
The thing is that irritates
He just
me.
wants to make America great again.
You
No,
could wear a
he
MAGA
doesn't.
hat, but if I was to wear like a Black Lives Matter shirt or something, it would
Then
be
you
like
ready to
a
fight.
big
Yeah,
States a
issue.
message. States a
It would
message.
be a real big issue. So I don't know why one is acceptable and the other
Right.
is.
So when Jesse's biopic comes out soon, look at that. Oh, we're looking at the video of this guy stealing in the green coat right there. He's stealing stuff in the
in the
background.
green coat.
Ooh, he's stealing. But when Jesse's biopic comes out, are we watching it? Are we gonna be tuned in? Do you think he has an opportunity to come back out and do his
I
thing?
mean, this is gonna be shady
Because we
but
see how scandal works in the music business.
Not
Like,
even
he-
that, but I mean, Justice Smollett is not that important of a person. Like,
Ooh.
you know what I'm saying? Like, if he want this to be his demise,
Said
and
maybe if
he's-
he was Hakeem.
not even that, but it's like he's not that important
Hakeem
of a
get into the
person.
bag.
So if you was doing this to make yourself more relevant, that didn't help. Like, you're still trash, and now you, now we all hate you. So it's just like, what was the motivation, bro?
What if Jesse
got
wanted to
an
go to
album coming
jail
out.
on purpose?
Yeah, people
Why
be doing
would
that.
you want to?
You
To
maybe
meet
want to
the,
be on
jail-
60 days in.
Maybe you want to get that jail booty.
To meet the
Not-
what did you say the dude's name was? The booty
talking
the
about?
booty bandit. What's his name from the Boondocks?
Oh, the booty bandit? Is that what's?
What's his name?
yeah.
I likes you.
And I want you. We can do this.
Come on.
Way.
Come on
think
over
he's
here,
gonna-
Jamal.
Oh, wait.
Tell me I'm so beautiful.
I don't think he's gonna go to jail. I mean,
He's going to jail. Come
nah,
on.
Everybody going to
He not
Or
jail.
he
going
doing
to jail.
hella community service in
not-
Chicago.
He probably be on probation
In
for
front of
like the
Subway.
next 10 years.
What is the charge? Is the question.
Ooh, what is the
Uh,
charge?
He was-
It's,
he's gonna get one
Forgery.
one for the mail fraud. If he sent himself the letter, which it's looking like he
That is
did,
mail fraud.
that's a felony. That
And
one
then
and the police and the filing the false police report
False
was another
police report.
felony.
How much
Now if
time
they,
does that
I don't know
carry?
if they'll do some
7
type of,
7
when
years
they
each.
trace the money. I don't know if he'll get like a a white collar type crime for
Right,
like paying for
right.
this. But he's done, and you know what? I don't really give a fuck because he's nobody.
But here's the thing about, and this is what I saw on social media. This is what I saw on social media that did raise some question. So if you know, was it 2016 the Olympics where
Ryan
Lochte
Lochte, yeah,
God.
he
He
did
lied
the same
about
thing.
How we end up talking about him again?
he lied about the fact that he was robbed in Brazil.
Word.
And nobody gives a fuck about Ryan Lochte anymore.
I didn't like him on Celebrity Big Brother.
I
either.
did.
I didn't even know he was doing that. So I mean, he's a nameless person now. Only reason why he's
Damn.
being brought up is because he's
Because of the
getting
it being
compared to
the
another
Jesse
person who's going to be
situation.
nameless soon. So I just listen, people. It's 2019. There are cameras everywhere.
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 Absolutely.
Except exactly where Jesse
So
got beat up
if
at.
you're gonna do
'Cause I think he
illegal
wanted to get it on camera.
activity, stay off the grid. Leave your phone at home. Pay in cash and make sure there's no cameras.
That's it. That's it. If you're doing some illegal activity, or Taj is gonna catch you with her first 48 knowledge.
I got hella
Dun,
first
dun.
48
You know what I'm
knowledge.
saying? They got them snitching on there easy. All right, so that was Jesse, and we don't know how long he's gonna be if he has to do time.
This is the thing. It's easier to prove those type of crimes than like R. Kelly type of crimes, and that's what's going
It's
to make me
easier
upset.
to prove?
It's easier because there's a paper trail. Those are like
Oh,
white
yeah.
collar.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, but I
crimes.
mean, it's like yes, in the general sense, it is easier, but it's easier to believe those type of crimes because we typically believe people who've been assaulted in non-sexual ways, especially when it's men.
True.
Agreed.
Right. So I wanted to take time to get to our political correspondent, Mr. Young Pinot Grigio, because we have Bernie Sanders is running for president. I just wanted to touch on it.
Feel the burn.
I'm feel the burn. I'm not feeling the burn from these mimosas right now. We lit in the studio right now. I had to remind myself. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm doing a podcast. So I had to chill on the drinking. But yeah, so Bernie Sanders is running for president in 2020. I forgot how old he is
Ow.
again already.
He's old
He's
as hell.
like 70 something.
He's
I love-
high
70.
70s.
He might
I love
High
Bernie, but
70s.
I want him to sit this one out.
I'm not sure how many other people are running. You said you gotta say
Kamala.
that?
Kamala
Harris.
There's like
Warren,
11
Corey.
Democratic.
She's got a
Cory
Corey's
little.
Booker,
running.
She's got a little.
Elizabeth Warren is
Yeah,
stuff
I like
here.
I like Lizzie. I like Lizzie.
I think she's
Are we on
good.
first name basis? We on nicknames?
when I like
Honestly, for me,
Bernie's
it would either be
77.
between
77.
Elizabeth Warren and Kamala Harris.
How you
Those
feel
are the
about-
only two people. I
no
would.
Corey.
Wow.
Cory Booker. I mean,
I don't think Cory Booker could
'cause
beat
he's from New
Trump.
Jersey.
I don't think Kamala could beat Trump. Elizabeth Warren, I think, is a good contender to beat Trump, and Bernie. But I love Kamala and I love Cory, but I don't think they could beat Trump.
Who Bernie going up there with?
This is my issue. My biggest issue about this is there's so many Democratic options.
Oh, there's a lot. Yeah.
That we need somebody that is guaranteed to win against him.
Nobody's
we can't.
guaranteed.
Nobody's guaranteed.
It's always
guaranteed.
like
But
that,
this is
though.
the thing: we can't afford to have 11% voted for this Democratic person,
that's how it's gonna
11%
be.
voted for
No,
this.
we're
It's
not
going to
gonna-
be so split.
I mean, if we.
That's
the
what
Demo-
well, as it
primaries
gets
are
down,
for.
yeah. So with the, you know,
Yeah.
as it comes down,
And then
to-
once they get smarter, they'll put some people. They won't make us split the ticket and vote against them.
Right.
But I mean, as much as Trump is trash, he's a pretty formidable contender at this point.
I've been president this whole time, so
But just because I mean, his base's love for him is never ending.
Oh, yeah. True.
And the crazy thing is, it's people that voted for Trump that voted for Obama.
yeah.
And I don't
It's
know.
a money thing. They think about the tax bracket. That's all they care about.
Yeah, but the majority of Trump's base is nowhere near his tax bracket. And we'll
Oh, no.
never see that money ever in
because
their life.
he appealed
Trump-
to- he appealed to
appeals
whatever-
their either their bias. He tells them, he makes promises that he knows he can't keep.
But the thing is, he's exactly what they hate. A rich kid who's had opportunities because his dad was rich and he got money and he was able to build an empire.
When
and
he
never,
talks that shit.
He does talk this
He
shit.
talks that shit. They be like,
that's
oh,
one thing you got to
he's
give
a-
Trump. He
he's a
does talk
straight-
that shit.
He's
He
a straight
talk that
shooter.
shit.
Yeah,
He's a straight
he
shooter.
does
I
He's
like
not,
him.
a,
shit.
he's not a straight shooter, but if you're full of shit, you gotta talk a lot of shit.
You have to.
Cause you
Because
gotta.
you're full of the shit, so the shit has to get out, so you
to
can
get
get more shit in for you to say the next time.
But the thing is, he just says whatever what comes to his mind, and I guess there's some parts of that's to be respected in some arenas, but in general, he's just a bad dude. Like, he's a bad person.
He's a bad hombre.
I
Yeah.
think anybody that has worked in a corporate space, especially him, they know that, like, especially as a black person that works in a corporate environment, you can't say everything that you're thinking.
No,
Exactly.
You
He's not
can't.
black.
So
No.
but he should know that the most, because he's like the most looked at person in America, literally. So I can't necessarily respect the fact that you don't have, there's
Any
no
filter.
decorum at all.
You know what's crazy?
Like,
I
there's no
realized-
standard.
I realize that he's really, like, as much as people talk shit about him, and I realize that, he's been doing this for a while. Like, even back when he had that whole beef with, like, Rosie O'Donnell and stuff like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Like, he's like, oh, all I gotta do is tweet something and everybody's talking about
everybody's
me.
gonna
Like,
talk
I'm
about
ready
you.
for
Yeah.
this. I'm ready for this. So he's
Yeah.
probably mentally prepared for it. Like, he don't care. He
No,
does
he
not
doesn't.
care.
And that's the thing that irritates me. I hate to switch gears to go to talk about
Switch them
Kanye.
gears. Oh,
but
yeah, my guy.
I like Kanye's position has always been that he respects that this was somebody that we all counted out for the presidency, and then
And then he made it.
and then he made it, which
That's what Kanye's thing is. Kanye
On
is
the general
always
tr-
about
the
like
underdog.
achieving, the underdog,
But the thing is-
achieving your dreams, like speaking everything to existence.
Donald Trump.
I'll
was-
give him props on
Donald
that.
Trump was never
Only
the
props I'm giving Donald
underdog.
Trump.
He was just unqualified.
Very.
You know what I'm saying?
Accurate. That's
it's
the most
like-
accurate thing I've heard
It's
today.
like,
Oh.
why do you respect somebody who was unqualified making it?
Yeah.
That's like when you supposed to get the promotion at work and then they give it,
Give
to,
it to
somebody else.
And you're like, why
And
they
you're
give it to
like,
her?
is it because I'm black? Is it because I'm a woman? Black women are at the bottom of the totem pole for everything.
That sounded
Yeah.
very personal, miss.
It is
It
personal.
is personal. It is personal. Shit.
At me.
Oh shit. Okay. What's your at?
At the symphony with a 5 instead of an S
This-
underscore.
There you go. All right. Don't be atting my girl. All right. I know she just said it, but don't do it.
Yeah, Trump is he's a piece of work, but he appeals to his crowd, and he's built up enough of a cult following where people will literally follow him in any direction that he goes. So
Yeah.
it's
I
kind of
think-
hard to beat that.
I think the Dems are gonna have a hard time beating Trump,
The Dems.
just because of this powerhouse of bullshit that he's created that people love. I mean, as much as you hate Trump, there's a lot of people out there that love him. And I don't think Kamala has what it takes to beat Trump, and I don't think Cory Booker does either.
So are we prepared for another 4 years of Donald Trump?
Hell no.
But you just said that he's not gonna be able
I wasn't prepared for the first 4 years. But I mean, you gotta live, and
I'm just hoping
regardless.
Bernie wins.
I'm hoping Bernie wins. I mean, I love Bernie's progressive agenda in general, but typically people who have these kind of agendas are seen as being batshit crazy. AOC being one of the main ones. So we have to prioritize. As a millennial with hella student loan debt, I'm down with anybody who is trying to really solve that problem.
You got to get to it. So yeah, so I wanna get into at some point before the episode is over, we're gonna talk about like our passions and everything, and definitely want to talk more about Taja Lee, Chef Taj,
yeah, I want to hear me talk about food
and her cooking.
Okay.
But just on my little list, we were talking about people getting to their money. So you had mentioned millennials stepping up and doing their thing. So I don't know if like athletes count as like certain athletes that are out here count as millennials and stuff like that. But
listen, if you were born in the 80s or 90s, you're a millennial.
80s
I
or
hate when
90s?
it's like
even if it's 80.
I hate when it's
think
like
it's-
people
I don't
who's
think
like
it's 80.
Or
if you're
81?
listen, if you're 36 or younger, probably till about 24, 25, you're a millennial.
It's from-
It'll be people who are like 35, like this generation, like nigga, that's you too.
It's anyone born from 1981 to 1986.
81.
Yes.
All right.
Currently in 2019, if you're from the ages of 23 to 38, you
You're
are
a
a millennial.
23 to 38.
38,
Okay,
yeah.
that's not.
And I hate that people every time people talk about millennials, I feel like there's an idea that millennials are people who are teenagers right now.
Yeah,
Or
because
people
when
who
you
are
think
they-
of millennial, you think of like being born in 2000.
Remember like Generation X? I don't know when that ended or like.
I have no clue.
Who that is?
But so all right, so 23. So anybody younger than 20 is not a millennial. What are they?
Anybody younger than 24.
That's Gen Z.
Yo, you know what's wild? I saw a video on Instagram of this little girl like singing her heart out to that new Cardi B song, and I'm like, yo,
To the please me?
yeah, kids are growing up to Cardi B.
Listen,
no
I mean,
offense to our sister
kids
from the
grew up
Bronx,
to
but this
Lil
is
Kim.
wild.
Yeah,
This is
Yeah.
wild.
I love Cardi B, but I don't think that I would want my kids to grow up to that.
First-
we grew up to like all 90s R&B stuff. So.
I mean, I think people have to realize that it's really not Cardi B's responsibility to raise your child.
Oh, no, definitely
and
not.
she definitely said that too.
Definitely.
And
not.
I don't understand this idea that whatever grown ass motherfuckers do is somehow a problem for the young people that are watching. Like, filter what your kids watch, instill confidence in them so they aren't followers, and you won't have to worry about what Cardi B is doing. I hate people who don't like Cardi B,
Yeah,
especially men.
there's a lot of people that don't like her. I always loved her just because she was from the Bronx. And
Why
My
do
co-
they not like her?
My
she does.
coworker, he
People talk about her
hates
being
Cardi
ratchet.
B.
People talk
About
about
her
her being
being
She's
ratchet.
herself.
She's ratchet. Oh, she used to be a stripper. I can't respect somebody that used to
So
take
what?
their
Eve
clothes
was
off
a
for
stripper
money.
too.
So
Eve
fuck
was a
that.
stripper.
Malcolm X used to be a crackhead and a thief. Like, who cares about who you used to be when you turned
True.
your life
need
around?
to grow.
Jay-Z used to be a crack dealer. Like, come on.
And now
Your
he's
husband
worth
And now-
sold
900
crack
billion.
cocaine for 14 years.
And now he's telling us, how to build ownership in
Come on.
in everything.
True.
Jay-
I really fucks with Cardi B's come up though.
Cardi B is probably the smartest person to come out of Love and Hip Hop.
Ooh,
Oh, yeah,
no,
yeah,
agreed.
yeah.
Only because
yeah.
she used it as a platform to grow her following more than it
Yeah.
already was, and then was like, "Oh, y'all trying to give me this deal? All right, let me crank out some heat, give you that, and then you blow up." Then she linked up with Bruno Mars. That was the smartest idea ever because he's so crossover
Yeah, he's
that he
super
appeals
crossover.
Well,
to
because
everybody.
he's
He's
racially
ethnically
ambiguous, so
ambiguous.
he can move.
and
through
he's
the
a performer
Yeah,
as
the
well. He's
industry.
Bruno
actually
winning.
good.
He's winning
Yeah.
out here. I really didn't like that song the very first time I heard it, but
The Please Me song?
yeah, but
Oh, I
when
loved
they
it.
they play it, and it's again Bruno Mars, like he has that. You know what I'm saying? They just give it to
Listen,
him, so
I
they're gonna
love Cardi.
continue to play it. So I heard it the other day, and I was like,
Yeah,
it's all right.
it was good. I love Cardi. I love, listen, I'm from the Bronx,
BX.
so if it's a woman from the Bronx who's doing her thing,
We here for
who
it.
went from stripping to now getting money and living lavish, how can you hate on that?
Can I ask you a question? Because you posted this on
Me?
Facebook. Yeah, you.
Oh,
Getting questioned
you know
questioned
I
about
be
our
talking
social
my
media.
shit
Because
on
I know you be
Facebook.
talking your shit, and you were talking about how female sex workers are seen
Uh-oh.
are kind of.
I missed this.
Let
post.
me.
Hold up.
I know which one
You were talking about female sex workers and how we sort of
You said we?
frown. not well society. When I say we, I mean society.
Society.
How society sort of frowns upon, and men don't respect a woman who.
You talking about this one?
Can I read it?
Yeah.
All right. Men respect an entrepreneur until it's a woman using her body to make money. God forbid she uses social media and her body to make money, then she becomes the reason for everything wrong in the world. Can you give us some? Can you elaborate on that?
I see a lot of hate for I won't talk specifically about sex work, but women who use their bodies to make money,
like an IG model.
IG models. There's a lot of hate for IG models, and I don't understand why. Especially, you know what, the IG models that I like the most, and this is the people that y'all hate. The IG models that be regular, degular, schmegular bitches,
OD.
and they get their body done,
Yep.
and then they become IG models,
Word.
and then they start fucking making money. I like that the most.
Are you with it? Are you?
I'm 100% with it because I mean.
And you got the cooking thing going too. Come on, Taj. You could be crazy out there. You could be crazy in the
I don't have
streets.
the body to be an IG model.
I wouldn't be mad.
The way my fupa is set up.
If I would, yeah. I would not be mad. I'd be a little bit. I don't know if I'd be disappointed, but if I see my cousin on IG in a thong cooking some waffles,
She
and
like-
some, you know what I'm saying, and she had 1 million followers, you know what I'm saying, and she bringing in cash, I couldn't be too mad at that because she's still doing what
But
she
would
wants.
you claim her though?
You know what I'm saying? Please, if she got 1 million followers, I don't
You better post me.
Right,
That's
right.
Get my
cousin.
followers up.
That's my cousin right there. She was on episode 6 of Bros with the Hoes podcast. Thank you.
I just like that because I mean, social media for all business owners, whatever your business is a really I mean, fairly new, obviously, within like the last decade, but it's a solid way to make money that doesn't require you. Well, it is hard work, so I don't want to say that it doesn't require you.
Man,
busting
taking
your
a
ass.
couple pictures.
It's not necessarily that easy.
You gotta
but
come up with the
especially-
content.
But
is the
especially
biggest
if you're
issue.
a woman and you can use
Ass.
the same kind of male driven sex culture to like in turn make money, because what you're doing is like me right now, I couldn't be an IG model. I don't have the body to be an IG model. But when I go to DR and get my body done, 'cause that is gonna happen.
She's like, just know.
That is gonna happen. And when y'all see me, mind your business. Then now
This is my twin sister.
You got. Do you ever feel like that? Be like, damn,
She already know.
No,
I already
but
spoke
it's
to her
like,
about
listen,
that.
After you do that, now I have a way to make money. That I have a stream
There
of
you go.
income that I did not have accessible to
For
me before.
real.
So either I'm smart enough to realize how to turn that booty into dollars, or I'm smart enough to hire somebody that knows how to do that.
So when y'all see Chef Taj on IG with a waffle on one cheek, pouring
Listen.
drizzling some jalapeno honey butter down there.
But I hate to say it, but like, oh, I got 1 million followers, you know, because I hate that that's what counts. But when we're talking about making money on social media, that's what counts.
I'm sorry.
And-
I gotta disagree with that though.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jazz. Thank you, Jazz.
I gotta disagree
Wow.
because
So we got sides over
first
here.
of
'cause
all,
I'm with Taj on this one.
are you? Let me,
You know, I'm super
I'm with you.
industry.
cause I
I'm
got
with you.
booty, but I'm not getting it.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm not doing all that.
Yo, if
I'm
you
sorry.
wanted to put your booty out here, and you know what I'm saying, if you was trying to,
you say that.
if you was
Right,
trying to find a
right.
way to make money off,
And
of
so
it,
dudes is commenting
But
and
what
all up
about
in the
10
DMs.
years
she
from
thicker
now?
than a snicker. What?
Okay, I did actually get that comment,
I
and
know
he was
you-
mad.
I know you
Okay,
did.
so come on. If I really put my ass on Instagram, you would be tight at the
it's-
I'm
comment.
not
If it's
necessarily.
making money,
I'm not
You would
necessarily
still be
saying,
tight.
No, I'm not. I don't want. Listen, at the end of the day, you have to make the decisions that are best for you. I'm not necessarily saying get out there and be naked and sell your body and on social media. But what I am saying is we shouldn't attack women, and we especially shouldn't pin them as the reason for a lot of the ills in our community because they're choosing to make money on social media.
It's Lauryn Hill's
because
fault.
athletes make money off of their body.
True.
Dancers make money off of their body.
Very true.
Even entertainers make money off of their body.
Very
Bang.
true.
So if you have a woman who said, listen,
and
maybe
y'all love y'all some athletes.
maybe I can't do shit else but take some good pictures on social media. My bills is paid. I'm taken care of. So why are you mad? It's the same entrepreneurial spirit that Jay-Z is talking about.
Okay, here's my thing. I fully understand that, and I get that, and I'm not the type of person that. And listen, whatever your hustle is, I'm never gonna knock a person hustle.
But you was
I'm never gonna knock a person hustle. I'm never gonna knock a person hustle. Hold on.
I want to hear what
Let
Chase
me-
got to say.
I'm
Wait,
gonna quote you right now. now because you said that
She
you
said
wouldn't knock a person's hustle, but your comment was for the most part, and y'all probably gonna get mad, which is what all men say on social media before they
probably
say
gonna
some
get
bullshit.
mad.
I got white friends.
You said, I think men lose respect because instead of using your mind, you choose your body. You could have been anything,
It's
but
both.
you choose to strip and be on IG, which seems to be the easy path people are taking.
Is
So
that-
let's
No,
unpack that.
Let's unpack that.
Let's unpack
Is that
that.
not true, though?
Is it
That's
bad?
completely false.
I agree with him only because I feel like you should have a talent. Looking beautiful is not a talent.
Thank
Like,
you.
Looking beautiful is a talent, and you can make money. Models
Hold
do
up,
it every
hold
day.
up.
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, though.
Beauty is in the eye of whoever has power to make that the standard of beauty.
But what
I
I'm saying is this. One, I think that women need to move into a space. I personally, I like seeing women who move into a space that do things. I can't even get it out.
I was gonna say naked.
That do things. Women who do things that require more of an intelligence as opposed to a body
Absolutely.
thing.
Talk
I
your
like
shit, King.
women who want to be the senior vice president of ... or want to be the CEO of ... I just like boss chicks. Not to say that you ain't no boss chick. I'm just saying that it's an easy lane to go into.
see,
it's so easy to
It's
go.
not easy.
It's
not
such an
easy
easy
to
lane
be,
to go into.
It's not easy to be successful on social media. If that was the case, we would all have 1 million followers. It's not
Word.
easy
I think-
to garner the power of social media to make money.
Yeah.
Not you going the social media route is not necessarily the easiest.
It's brains and body.
It's brains and body. I mean, you can get a degree in social social media and how to use that to make money.
And we
So-
all like boss chicks too.
So
but
that's not a factual statement that if you go into IG modeling, you're somehow choosing the easier path of using your body to make money.
That lane is pretty easy though.
It's
How?
very,
Thank you.
It's very
How?
easy.
What's easy about it?
because everybody getting into it.
Here's how easy.
Everybody's a chef.
I'm not-
Everybody's a chef. I've gone into an industry that anybody can do who didn't go to
Same.
culinary school.
Everybody's a host. Everybody's a video
They can post
filmmaker.
pictures on IG of food that they made, and they don't know anything about basic French cooking. So anybody can go. Like social media has given everybody a platform,
Word up.
not just women who get naked.
It's all about the hustle and consistency.
I think that the issue with it is that it creates an issue of men. It's being okay for men to sexualize women.
No,
That's my issue.
we
with
was
it.
doing that anyway.
I think
No,
that's true.
Like,
that's
why
is
it's
true.
easy.
That's why it's
my
easy.
problem
The
with it.
issue
'Cause we
is
simple.
the issue is that everything a woman is doing is being seen through the male perspective and what's pleasing to a man.
That's pretty much it.
Absolutely.
That's why it's an issue because
And I don't
it's
think
this-
it helps rapey culture.
No.
I don't think it does.
I agree.
I
That's
don't.
true.
I think women who are making empowered decisions for themselves, and how they use their bodies to make money, is not. I wouldn't say that that's akin to rape culture. There are definitely things that support rape culture, and social media models to me are not one of them. Things that support rape culture, are things like the R. Kelly situation when women come out and say, this man did this to me. And I know you guys, a lot of women don't say anything because the man is rich, because the man is powerful, or maybe she has had sex in her life like everybody else, and maybe people may think she's a hoe, or it's too many, it's too much patriarchal bullshit that you have to get through to get to the core, and that's what helps. That's what aids and supports rape culture. Women saying, listen, this
Or
is my
saying things like she got herself into it,
or
and
she
stuff
got
like that.
herself
Yeah.
into it, or we need to. I mean, I feel like there's this momentum to punish women, especially because it's seen that women who make false rape allegations, are like the worst of the worst. I mean, people make
That
false,
is the worst of the worst. Huh?
but people make false crime accusations all the time. Jussie
Jussie.
Smollett, as we
Talking
can
to you,
see.
Jussie.
I
You know
mean,
what
but
I'm saying?
that's from a male perspective. You're saying that's the worst thing. It is bad. I'm not saying it's not a bad thing, but women have been black women
No,
in particular
understandable.
have been going through being raped for hundreds of years.
Understandable.
So you always gonna have at least one that's like, okay, that's false. But you have to think about all the ones that are actually happening that people are overlooking.
Of course.
I just don't like, as a black woman, I hate how every move that I make, every decision that I make is seen through the lens of what is going to be pleasing to not just a particular man, not just my man, all men.
Okay.
And men don't have that burden.
We judgy as shit, yo.
That's true.
I'll agree with that. I'll say
Yes.
we're hella judgy.
I agree
So,
with that.
I mean, a woman, Amber Rose made $3 million off of social media.
Word.
Off of
Before the slut walk.
off of partnerships that she has with different companies who have a hell of a social media attraction. Fashion Nova, Flat Tummy Tea.
You gonna be
The
out here doing flat tummy tea ads?
I mean, listen, if the money is right, I'll sell y'all some Flat Tummy Tea shit.
Yes. You had to think about that for a second.
He like, I might need some of that.
I mean, no, obvious. I mean, you have to go into branding. What your brand is. I mean, I'm a chef. I want to.
Fashion Nova chef coat.
Right. That I could do, but I'm not. I don't want to just peddle products just for the hell of it.
But that's where the money come from.
It does, but you can. I think
You can be selective.
You can be selective.
Oh, of course.
You can be selective, and this is where I have the problem. I don't have a problem with social media, but the problem that I do have with social media models is that you turn into kind of just a walking. What are they infomercial? You know, you're just peddling products just to create and generate income, and it's like you don't really have
no type of branding.
That's
Right.
where the brains comes in
But-
and being an
that
IG
is where the
model.
brands come in with becoming how to brand yourself in particular and what you do, because I mean you could be somebody like Jackie Aina who she only markets beauty products.
Who that?
You don't know who
Somebody.
Jackie Aina is?
I don't be on social media.
We're
Like
men.
Well, you
we
said
don't-
you like boss ass chick. She's a boss ass chick.
Yeah.
You should know who she is.
Signing
my
contracts and
only
getting
thing
no
is
likes,
this.
though.
My only thing is this. I have no problem with women using any kind of talent or whatever they have to make some type of
Keyword talent.
talent or something to make some type of income, whether it's them being skilled in a specific trade or profession or just using their body and taking nice
So if
cute
that's
pictures.
it, leave it at that.
No,
don't put a but because you
No,
want
no,
to
no,
say
no,
but.
no.
But
I'ma say goddamn but.
that's
But
how
y'all
you
hoes
say
be
it,
it,
but.
then you gotta stand by that.
No, and I
true.
stand by that. I'm again at the end of the day, I'm not gonna knock your hustle. I just would like to inspire more women to take on the tasks that may seem a bit more challenging. Like I would like to inspire a woman to get into politics. I want to inspire women to get into law. I want to inspire women to get into the government and stuff like that.
I think
and
that's
that's
great.
how you make. And that's personally, that's in my opinion how you make change.
I don't agree with
Inspiring chicks.
He's
to
about
be,
the advancement
no,
of colored women.
Yeah, like not.
That's
my
a
thing
black
is
man's
this.
perspective.
Yeah.
But my thing is this:
Well,
if
we want to see our
keep
sisters do good, though. You know?
Absolutely.
if we keep shifting this idea that you could just go to social media and take nice pictures and you can make your income there, we are gonna have a bunch of these cute chicks half naked online.
I think it's
but if
okay
you
to
want to
just do
make it
that.
real, because I'm about it's, you got to understand it's bigger than that. It's about system changing.
Because there are people
If
that
you-
think that that's it. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? Like, oh, that's
you
all I
have-
got to do?
That's all I got to do to make money, then that's it. If you want a real system change, you need to go into the male-dominated fields. You need to go into finance. You need to go into politics. You need to go into government. You need to go into law. That's where you make a system change. But if I'm telling you, listen, girl, it's cool. You oh yeah, you cute, girl. You got a nice little figure on you. Whatever. Do your thing. Go get your money on Instagram. Then I'm never gonna inspire you to be the next hedge fund manager.
Right.
But
And
I
it's
think
like,
that's making a lot of assumptions that you're not really in a position to make, because I mean, first of all, we all can't be Michelle Obama.
I'm not saying you
I
can.
love
Yes,
Michelle
we
Obama,
can.
but we can't all be Michelle Obama. And for some women, they just want to make a little change off IG.
Yeah.
All right? And they, I think the bigger issue and the system that we should be more inclined to talk about is a system of empowering women to make decisions for themselves.
I agree
Very
with
true.
that. So I have a friend. So she used to post like booty pictures and stuff here on IG here and there, and I was like, "Yo, you." Somebody in the studio was like, "Yup." So they're gonna. I was like, "Yo, you need to open your page, make it public. Use some hashtags here and there. Like I don't outwardly promote to post like booty pictures and stuff like
No,
that.
but if you
but
gonna-
she had dudes on her and like certain people, and I'm like, yo, if you're trying to get noticed in the media community, like this
Right.
could be a way to do it. She's like, nah, I'm not trying to do that. So I applaud her because she just recently moved to Idaho to work for this news station, and I was like, look at that, because look at it.
I think that's me and Chase's point.
Thank you.
Like, if you actually have
Do
a
more.
talent besides your body, do that. Don't settle for what. And I honestly do feel like me posting my ass on Instagram is easier than me being like, yo, I'm gonna do this media thing. I may not make all the money up front, but if I build and I grow, it's I'm thinking long term as far as like building your family, your future family. Legacy is what I'm thinking. I'm not thinking short term gain.
But that's
Yeah, we're not about that shoebox money.
Yeah, but that same mindset, then we can't be mad at the mumble rappers, the microwave rappers.
I was gonna say
we can't be mad
it's the
at
I
same
them.
never said that.
Get your royalties.
That's why it's like, I mean, granted, I think mumble rap is bad for the art, but these are young kids who come from nothing and now are seeing more money than they ever have in their life, and they could take care
I
of their
just
whole
hope they're
family. And I'm not
investing
mad
it.
at that.
So you mentioned talking about coming from nothing, right? So we over an hour into the episode, right? I can't get out of here without talking about our struggles, our passions and stuff, since we all I would say everybody here is working on their craft. Everybody here is doing something in the field that they want to be doing, and that's very hard as young Black people these days. So Chef Taj, right? So
Yeah.
I don't have a question off the top of my head, but I just wanted to, if you could run through like your hustle, like where your passion for being a chef came from, and how hard it was for you to get into this field.
My passion for being a chef came from getting fired from multiple corporate jobs.
Talk about it.
And feeling like I hate working in majority white fields, which I mean, honestly, culinary arts is still too, but a corporate white field.
But you could be your own boss at some point.
And I just got to a place, I was like 25, 26, and I was like, what am I going to do? What do I want to get up and do every day? Because I think we come from a lineage of ideal that, you go to school, you get you a good government job, and you work that until you retire.
Hell yeah.
And so, and there's no thought about, do I like this? Do I want to come here every day? How is this affecting my mental,
And
my
I think
emotional?
that's something our parents didn't instill in us also.
But I don't believe. I think our parents in particular did a really good job with letting us know that we could do anything and be anything.
Everybody parents say that though.
But really,
But when you try to do it, they
but
ain't
not,
with
yeah,
it.
but really supporting us through that,
Right.
and telling us you don't have to really go the traditional route. And I think our parents did a good job at making us feel like we could build an empire, as a family.
That was one good thing our parents did specifically.
Right. Like, we have a talent. We want to keep this money and this talent in-house, and we want to build something that we particular in our family, people with the last name Bracy, will benefit from.
Word.
But me, sorry to get off a tangent, but me, I just got to a place where I was like, what do I want to do every day? And being an executive assistant wasn't it. And as even though the money was good, and you could make 6 figures being an executive assistant. So
No disrespect to any executive assistants.
No.
Now, I know a few that makes
Yes,
six figures.
yes.
They got paid for.
So I mean, it was like,
Literally and figuratively.
I just got to a place where I was like, I don't know what I want to do long term. But I have to think about what I want to do every day. And cooking has always been something that I've done. Anybody that knows me, I wasn't a professional, but I always loved to cook at home. In college, I cooked when we had parties. It was something that I always did. But I never really saw it as a viable career path. I think because I had kind of like corporate blinders on. Okay, we got to go out. We got to get a job with a Fortune 500 and move that route. And then I got to a place where I was like, well, if I have to think about what I'm going to do every day, what I will want to do every day, this is it.
True.
So when I got to that place, I had just moved back to New York City from the DMV. That was in 2015.
DC,
And,
stand up.
I was unemployed. I was broke as fuck. I was living with my mama. And I was just at a place like, okay, I said I want to cook. I said I want to go down this path. What do I need to do to make that happen? So the first thing was I want to go to culinary school. My personal opinion, you really don't have to go to culinary school to be a chef.
Word.
Obviously, not everyone has the resources to be able to make that
But you had
happen.
a plan, though. You had a plan.
But I had a plan, and I first went to the real well-known ones in the city, and they were really expensive, and I didn't have the money, and I had tapped out Sally Mae, and it was all of that junk. So I was kind of defeated, and I was on the train, and I saw an ad for Monroe College.
Hey, I've seen that a bunch of times.
You know that song, I will find a way. You remember them commercials? And I will seize the day. Y'all heard them commercials before.
I definitely haven't.
Because I do have what it takes.
I've seen that. You go there.
Yo,
so
you're going
I've
to
seen
hear,
it.
next time you hear that, you're going to be like, yo, I know
I've
exactly
seen
what
the
that is.
ad. I've seen the ad on the train a bunch of times.
But yeah, I saw the ad on the train. I was like, oh, let me check them out. And I went and I applied. I did the whole shebang, and they denied me. I didn't get into
Ooh.
I didn't get into the school, and I didn't get into the culinary program. So I was like, well, damn. And then I was doing gigs for my catering company, Savor the Crown,
Yes.
Crown Catering.
How hard was it to start a company too?
I mean, that was hard. Even now, it's hard because it's not something. I like to play it safe, and in this business, you have to take a lot of risks, and that's what made me take so long to really take the leap into cooking full time, because I was comfortable where I was at. I mean, yes, I hated corporate culture, but I liked having health benefits. I liked having vacation
Stability.
days.
I can agree with.
You know, I liked
understand
having a $60,000 salary. I liked the stability it had, and I knew that if I went full time into cooking, that I'd have to give all of that up, because none of that exists.
I'm a wild card. I was just like, fuck it, I'm out here. I'm hosting everything. I don't care if I don't get no money.
Right, none of that exists in a beginning level in this field, and you probably won't see any of that until you're 10, 15, 20 years in. So it was just like, what am I, I had to take the leap at one point, and I always resented people who were like, just do it, because it's like, you don't take into account my bills, my student loans.
Right.
But I actually was like, okay, well, let me think smart. So I was trying to make a lateral move into the kind of the administrative side of the culinary world, so that I can be in the field that I liked, kind of doing things that I already knew how to do as an executive assistant, and I could still have the benefits that I liked
Use
to
your
have.
skills, man.
That's
Use your
smart.
skills.
So I applied for the administrative assistant position at the place that I work at now, Cloud Catering.
Okay.
And I went on a job interview, and I had to interview with the executive chef. And
You brought some chicken and waffles.
no, I didn't do anything. I went there super, professional. I did my
Phoenix is
whole
reaching for it again.
I did my whole Howard spiel. Howard taught me, and he was just, we started talking about how I was in school and how I like cooking. And he was like, well, it seems like you want to cook, not be an assistant.
Yeah, let them know. Let them know off bat what you want to do.
I didn't tell him that. He told me that.
Okay.
He was like, well, it seems like you want to cook, not be an assistant. Like, so why are you here for the assistant
To
position?
be in front of you.
And I was just like,
And I got skills.
I was just like, well, I thought this would be a viable path. And he was like, well, I'm going to be honest with you. Like, it's not going to really be an opportunity for you to pick up the knife in this role. Oh. We may have some things we may need you to help out with in the kitchen, but you're not going to be cooking, and you're not going to be growing as a chef in that role. So he told me flat out, he was like, I mean, if you want the administrative assistant job, you have it. I think you're great. He was like, but do you want to talk about that, or do you want to talk about cooking?
Both.
And I was just like, and he was like, I'll tell you what, this was like on a Thursday or a Friday. He said, if you want to cook, come and do a stage. And a stage is STAG. It's short for stagiaire, which is a French word, which is basically like an audition. You're going to be evaluated by the team and the executive chef. Do you have the basic skills to come here? And do you have the kind of personality that we can kind of help grow you as a chef? And it's an opportunity for you to say, is this a place that I want to work? Do they have the structure that I want to work in? Are they building chefs? Or am I going to be like cooking at McDonald's or IHOP, no shade? Or am I going to be doing something that's going to further me as a chef? So that's what I like about doing stages, is that it's not like a job interview that you get in the corporate world, when it's just all about what can you do for me, the job. It's what can you do for me, because I'm somebody who wants to learn and grow as a chef, and when I leave here, I have to be better.
True.
And that's the responsibility of me to do the work, but you to train me,
resources,
right? To give me the resources. So on Monday I went, I did the stage, and he just was like, listen, if you want to come here and work as a cook, then the opportunity is for you. And I thought about it for about 2 weeks, and then one morning
He gave you 2 weeks.
I was like, sheesh.
well, I told him that I was an executive assistant, so I didn't really have a job where I could just be like, all right, bye y'all.
Right.
So it took me 3 weeks. I had to give my job 3 weeks
She was still
notice.
forwarding calls
You know what I'm
and
saying?
stuff like that.
So I was just like, well, even if I do come to work, it's not going to be for like another 2 or 3 weeks. And I thought about it, and then finally I just said, you know what, fuck it. What's the worst that could happen? I mean, I could always go back to being an executive assistant.
True.
So I left, and honestly, I mean, granted, every job has its shit, and sometimes in the morning I wake up and I'm just like, I don't feel like doing anything, but I never feel like I don't want to do this.
There you go. That's beautiful right there. I want to know, anybody, if we could chime in, everybody on the mic, if you have some advice for anybody that is struggling to maybe find themselves or follow their dreams.
The first thing you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to take the risk.
Right.
And I know that is a lot easier said than done, depending on what your situation is. If you don't have the resources, if you don't have the support, I'm fortunate enough to have a super supportive family and friends system around me. So I ain't never gonna go hungry. I ain't never gonna be on the street. I know that. So I know I can at least take care of the business that I need to take care of. But you're gonna have to take the risk. That's if you're not willing to take the risk, then you're always gonna wonder what would have happened if I didn't do this.
Take the risk.
Take the risk, whatever it is. You can take a calculated risk. I'm not saying jump off into the deep end. I'm not saying drop everything and move to Cali with $300. If that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do.
People have done it.
And you can do that and be successful and have a really good story at the end.
I think Taraji.
But if you don't have the
Tiffany Haddish?
resources to do that, then I would definitely say work smarter. Like I said, you can make a lateral move into an industry that you want to do. Maybe doing the same kind of thing you're doing now, but just in the industry at least that you want to be in.
Bang bang.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what I'm doing now. I just made a lateral move into my industry, and the fact that I'm already in the building has given me so much opportunity to speak to the people who I really want to speak to.
There you go.
So yeah, there's definitely ways. I mean, it is definitely. I think you should try to take a more calculated risk, but there is a point where you may just have to go all in with all the chips.
You won't have that luxury
You may have to
anymore.
just do all the chips in.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, I appreciate that.
You got some dream talk, Jazz?
See, this is the thing. I'm probably not a good person to ask about that.
Why did you say that?
It's about
I
to
would
drop
say
bars.
that what I
I
wanted.
thought she was gonna hit us with something crazy.
Yeah.
I went to school for electronic media broadcasting, radio, TV, all that stuff. I always wanted to do radio. I had a radio internship before I graduated high school. I was like, oh, I'm going to be a producer for a radio station. I get out of school. Radio is dead.
Yeah.
Like, radio is very dead. So I was like, can't find a job.
Not if
in
you go on
that.
Station Head. Download Station Head.
On
your
Station
iPhone.
Head.
Yeah. You're like,
Well, I feel like if you
Download it in the App
Yeah.
Store.
I feel like if you're in a situation like that, this is when you have to start thinking outside of the box. And this is when you have to start thinking about making changes that are definitely going to make you uncomfortable. Because, I mean, the radio scene in New York City is pretty much locked down. Yeah. But it's not
Absolutely.
in probably North Dakota.
That's why you got to move.
Or,
That's true.
you know,
That's
true.
someplace else. You're definitely
Smaller
gonna,
market.
If you
Smaller
go to a
market.
smaller
If you
market,
bought it,
I'm
if you
talking
bought it.
like I heard, but I think I just heard Angelia or somebody else say this on the radio recently.
No, you most likely did.
But you know, you can go to some place where the market is small and you have a lot better chance
That's
to
what
make
everybody
traction.
and even
Everybody
everybody in
does.
radio does.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't do that.
But
I
don't-
just went into TV.
Yeah, but I would
Switched
say
it up.
don't get
I
discouraged
stumbled
when you feel that
into
kind of
it.
way.
It wasn't intentional. It was I got a call. Hey, we got this job at this TV station. Oh, I've been wanting to work for this TV station, so why not try it? And I fell in love with it.
Yeah.
So
Worked out.
here we are. I mean, it's kind of like I have goals. I want to advance,
Right.
but
and you're still making lateral moves within that.
I
Right?
am still advancing, little by little.
There you
But what do you say to the person that's like, I like what I do, but I want to do more, but I don't necessarily know what more is. That's
Try-
kind of
think-
Try
me.
more stuff.
For me, more is always ownership, especially for Black people. Like, I'm not saying go out and start your own company, but if you want more, you're gonna have to provide. You're gonna have to create more for yourself, and that's what I've learned, especially in cooking, is that it's so much you can do in this industry that you don't necessarily have to be behind the line cooking and slinging food at a restaurant somewhere. And now that we have social media, you have a whole new platform where you can make money where you don't have to be. Because this is not an easy path, and I think a lot of people
Not at all.
I think a lot of people see the glory and they see you cooking and things like that, and they don't know that you're working in an industry. Like, I went from having a decent salary. I make minimum wage now, and that was hard, not just for economically, but for my pride. Because I think
for
it's
real,
a
for real.
lot of comparing yourself to your friends, and especially if you got friends like me who's doing things and making moves and who make money and who have their own businesses, and it's like, how do I justify taking a financial step backwards?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But
You have to. The way to justify it is to know that you have your eyes on the prize. Because I've been doing that for the last few years.
But you're not justifying it to other people. That's the first thing you need to
Right.
realize.
It's for yourself.
It's
True.
to yourself.
It's for yourself.
Yeah.
Therefore, you don't have to justify anything. If
There
it
you
makes you happy and that's what you want to do, you do that.
there's times when I love Top Chef. Sometimes I don't watch it because I feel, I didn't watch it for a while because I felt like, oh, I'll never be that good. I'll never be able to compete on that level. But you have to see yourself there. In order to get there. If you can't even visualize it, it can't happen.
You have to visualize, and then every once in a while, like stuff just falls into your lap.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
You didn't see yourself up there, but you've worked with top chefs and stuff like that before. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't see myself. A little humble brag, real quick. I couldn't see myself, working with like major label artists and stuff. But I'm literally after this, I'm driving downtown to go host a show with Eric Bellinger. You know what I'm saying?
Strong flex.
So strong flex.
But okay.
But yeah, so to wrap up the dream conversation, I just wanted to say, and I always give Phoenix credit. Again, that's my mentor. I had a little bit of aspirations in like entertainment and stuff, like we had with our family and stuff. But yeah, I wasn't sure that a host is what I wanted to be. But once I realized that, Phoenix back at Lehman College in the Bronx was like the DJ for everything. And when they passed me the microphone at orientation, I was just like, it was a natural to me, People enjoy what I had to say, even if I was mingling, just trying to keep smiles on faces. And once I started hosting every show at Lehman, and then once I started hosting every show at other schools and stuff like that, like I realized, like even to this day, like yesterday I hosted a huge like Indian wedding. And it was crazy, and I went into it like not knowing like how certain things go, but I knew like with my energy, with my experience, that it was gonna be good anyway, and everybody had a wonderful time. So yeah, it's all about just going after it. And yeah, I've been hosting stuff for like the last 10 years, and I'm happy to say I get to see myself on the Jumbotron. I've been all around the world. I've been on TV and radio. You know what I'm saying? Like,
don't flex on
this
us?
is
I know, right?
Flex
We
hard.
just peasants.
So
right
now,
here.
like, just to be able to about staying consistent, just the fact that me and Chase said that we was going to do this a year ago, and we're sitting down recording this podcast, and we're going to try to continue to make it something that we consistently do.
Word.
This is not just therapy for us. It's not just us, hanging out as cousin time. It's not just dope content, but it's also like really, I get excited every time I come here every week because it's a chance for me to host something.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So to close out, my little dream quote, and this is exactly how I operate. This is exactly how I live my life. I've said a number of times. I told myself, even after I got laid off and fired from 2 jobs and on the same day, sitting on my mom's couch, I told myself I wasn't going to do anything that didn't have to do with a microphone. Right. So my quote that you're going to see me post on Instagram probably in the next week or so. Decide what kind of life you really want, and then say no to everything that isn't that.
Yes.
How y'all feel about that? I stole that from this dude Frenchie. He used to be the MC for the LA Clippers, and he told me he was gonna let me get his job.
Yeah, I like that, but I would add like a little asterisk, and I would say be open to everything though.
Still,
because sometimes we get so caught up in a specific idea of what we're supposed to have that we don't see all the opportunities that we've passed up looking at something very specific, especially if you're an artist.
Right.
I would just say work your ass off.
Yes.
Like I'll tell you, the dean of the culinary program, shout out to Dean Costantino. He always says, wherever you go, be the hardest working chef there.
There you go.
Word.
There you go. All right, so last thing, because this is a braggy episode for me. So Gary V DM'd me one day, right? That's what I'm starting with.
Flexing on us,
That's what I'm starting with. So I was like, this is back when I was doing my Snapchat show, and I was like, yo, I'm trying to get some steam behind it. And he told me patience and also try new shit. So those are his absolute words. So definitely, if you're gonna do something, stay consistent with it. It's not gonna work out, like Jazz said. It's not gonna work out right away. So you have to continue, stay on that, and mix it up a little bit. Try something different.
Very true. I mean, even with me, like, as you guys all know, filmmaking is like my thing.
That's right.
And I got to a point where I was like, I'm laser focused. Like, this is the only thing I wanted to do. But newer opportunities came forward, like, for example, this podcast.
Got to pivot a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. I wouldn't even consider a pivot. It's just being open to other lanes to build yourself as a artist. That can kind of as an artist, and you can sort of bring it back to the core as to what you want. So I linked up with a lot of other people who are interested in doing music videos. There was a point where I was like, I would never do a music video. That's not me.
Right.
But now it's like the opportunities are coming. So
that's how you gotta do it. So Once again, very uplifting episode of
Very
Bros
true.
with No Hoes podcast. Hope you guys got something out of it. Thank you to our wonderful, wonderful guest, Chef Taj Ali.
Tell them where to follow you. Please let them follow you.
Well, you can follow me on my personal page at Jaja Gabor.
Jaja.
If you want to see, I'm trying to do more of the social media for my food, but I just decided for myself that I'm not a social media chef. But you can also look at some of the things I post on my culinary page at Savor the Crown.
Savor the Crown on IG.
You can also hit me up at savorthecrown@gmail for inquiries. We could do some tastings.
If you got a brunch coming up
if
that you
have
need a chef
something
for.
coming up that you want somebody and you want some personal service.
Yes.
There you go. Jazz, do you have anything that you're promoting?
Herself.
Word. I really wanted Jazz to get into like a natural hair blog or something like that, because that's her thing. You know what I'm saying? But we'll see about it.
I'm here for it.
But you got any shout outs, Jazzy?
That's all natural hair.
A shout out to all the naturalistas out there.
Naturalistas. If you guys need any hair tips or something like that, hit Jazz.
If you need fine natural hair or low density hair,
if your hair is
tips,
fine, if
holla
you
at me.
If you a 3C, what are you?
What? we don't do hair typing here.
Oh, okay.
No.
Excuse me. All right, so let me get into these yout outs for today. So wanted to shout out my friend Steffi, my big brother sister. That sounded weird now that I think about it. It was right on the tip of my tongue. So that's my girl from school that we watch Big Brother together. She's part of the gang.
Big Brother crew.
Big Brother crew. Thank you, Steffi, for listening to the show. She said she's never listened to podcasts before, and she had to stop herself from dying laughing on the train. So that's a good look right there. I like compliments like that. Vanny D on the air. It's my girl from Station Head. She's super dope. Check out her show on Station Head, the wonderful app. My boy Toy Shay represent. I told you we had some Nigerian listeners out here. My boy Toy Shay, I've known for a
No
very
shade.
long time. Goes by DJ Synchro. He's got an awesome Nigerian mixtape that's out right now. If you check him out. Ralphie Jub, my boy Ralph. We used to work at this radio station together. He's super dope. Hope to get to meet up with him one day. Thank you for listening. Also, bro, Chef Erica followed Bros with No Hoes on Instagram. Chef Erica, I believe, came from Taj's group. So shout out to Chef Erica. Thank you for listening. My bro Thomas Cassiano, Tom from my Buffalo Wild Wings crew. Thank you for listening, bro. Appreciate you. Hope to get to see you soon. Also, a couple podcasts that check this out. The Better Than You podcast. Feel free to check them out. Joe, Alex, and Brian, thank you for paying attention to us. They said they was gonna check us out, so we have to do the same. And also Rob and Jay from the Chicken and Whiskey podcast. Thank you for checking us out. They said they were
Are
gonna
we
listen.
giving shout outs?
But yeah,
Please shout out some people.
we had chicken and prosecco up here, so chicken and whiskey.
If I had to shout out anyone, first I want to shout out the gang TLK. We all we got. I want to shout out my boy Forrest Lowe. He's actually, I'm going to see if he can come up here. He's actually opening up a French fry focus place in Brooklyn soon. We went to Howard together. I created the menu.
It's you.
So when we get that on,
She created menus out here.
Once he gives me
That's
the
my
word
cousin.
for that, then I'm gonna try to get him to come up out here. Shouts out to everybody at Cloud Catering. Shouts out to all my old people at the Met. Shouts out to all IG models and everybody in DR getting that booty done.
Yes, get the booty done.
I want to give a couple shout outs. I want to start like some movements, I want to start a couple movements. So I saw this thing on Instagram, somebody hashtag Side Nigga Nation.
No, we will not.
That's what we're not doing.
Listen, shout out to the Side Nigga Nation.
Can you still be a bro with no hoes if you're a side nigga?
No,
Yeah.
it cancels out.
You can.
No.
I also wanna start another movement. I've been trying to say this for a long time, but Wonder Kids, I want to start that movement.
Huh.
Shout out to all my Wonder Kids, and if you don't know what Wonder Kid means, it means a young individual who's on his grind, his or her grind. We can't be gender specific.
There you go.
Got to be inclusive. So it's a young individual who is on their grind, who is on their purpose, who is focused on becoming the best version of themselves, however you interpret that. So I think I want to start that with the Wonder Kids. So shout out to all my Wonder Kids out there.
Word. You got any shout outs, Jesse?
Nope.
Phoenix, you got any shout outs? The You We Me podcast.
Shout out.
Make sure you follow that. Check it out. Listen if you need some relationship talk.
Oh, the Make Party podcast is back.
Make Party Podcast is live.
Just a
guys.
little podcast where I highlight some of my talented friends. So if you have a talent and you want to just kind of talk about it and highlight it, and feel free to come on the show. Musicians, artists, dancers, whatever you do.
Right. You can watch my old interview on YouTube, the Throwback Make Party Podcast.
Word.
But yeah.
So as always, if you have any social events, any parties, any other functions, and you are in desperate need of hoes, please do not ask us
You ain't gotta be
because we
desperate.
don't have any hoes.
Niggas be desperate for hoes, man.
It's the Bros with No Host podcast. Peace.
No disrespect. Peace out, yo.